Lots of DC scalers have no idea what the truth of the Metal and Dark Crisis series actually is, despite tons of videos of mine. It's a real problem in the community, just as it is with any other topic. The majority do not read the source material and rely on power users in that niche community to give them the answers, and usually those people are really terrible at relaying the facts. I don't like liars or those who manipulate those communities with bad information on purpose, so please help me fight those bad content creators by sharing a link to this video around and liking the video and posting a positive comment below. The Great Darkness was a trick that Vandal Savage played on everyone in the Dark Crisis series, and I wanted to explain 2 points that I never see anyone else cover about the Dark Crisis series from DC Comics. We learn in Justice League vs. the Legion of Superheroes that Vandal Savage is responsible for creating the Great Darkness using a gold lantern ring to project it. However, there's some other clues during the series that really pointed right to Vandal being the source of everything ongoing. The first is simply his name, Vandal Savage, which when translated into Germanic is quite literally the Great Darkness. I find this very funny because Williamson as a last name is also Germanic, and I speculate he and his family speak the language and were aware that the name Vandal Savage in their own ethnic background translated to the Great Darkness. So if you ever question this, just note that the Great Darkness in Germanic translates directly to the name Vandal Savage. Furthermore, the heroes at the end of the Dark Crisis series are saved by Dr. Light, absorbing the light of creation and using the Flash to run the light around the multiverse. So it was the light that saved everyone from the crippling Great Darkness attacking. It just so happens that I'm an old school DC Comics fanboy, and I'm aware that Vandal Savage's old team of villains was called the Light. So it was a joke that Vandal Savage was playing on everyone, that the only thing that could save them was this thing called the Light, which is the name of his own team-up squad. Bro has a sick sense of humor. More so, earlier in the series, we got an issue called Deadly Green, which I own the physical copy of, which starts out by saying the Great Darkness is linked directly to the Lantern's rings. Somehow, they just don't know how yet. But we find out how and why in Justice League vs. the Legion when it's released later. So the reason I'm posting all these random clips lately for DC is because I recently had a debate with someone who I had a lot of drama with. This guy, who refused to debate me for 3 years or so until just recently. When he arrived for the debate, he did nothing but talk over me for 2 hours and didn't supply a single scan or piece of evidence for the entire duration of his complete crash out. So I wanted to make videos for each topic that I was unable to provide in the original discussion because I was waiting for this 1v1 for nearly 3 years. Vandal Savage's name translates to the Great Darkness, and also his villain squad's name is called the Light, which is what saved all the heroes at the end of Dark Crisis.